Comfortable.
I borrowed one from Mary.
Might be here a little while.
Okay. Okay, we all set?
Yes.
All set?
Yep.
Good evening. Welcome to the May 14th, 2024 Murraysville Planning Commission meeting. You please all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Patty, please call the roll.
Mrs. Ling?
Present.
Mr. Midal?
Here.
Mr. Carnes?
Here.
Mr. Patrick?
Here.
Mr. Olszewski?
Here.
Mr. Lemke? Mr. Levesque? Mrs. Hoy?
Here.
Okay, we have minutes from the meeting of April 13th. Does anyone have any comments or questions on the,
Bob, I reviewed them and I move that we approve them.
I'll second.
good. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have a period for public comment on the agenda this evening. I assume, by seeing all the smiling faces out there, that we will have public comment. Is the question, is the applicant here?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so, well, let's do it as the agenda says. Is public comment? Does anyone, do we have a list? No one signed up?
I'll sign up.
Okay.
So I think the first public comment would be the last time that this was on the agenda.
Name, rank.
Oh, I'm
and
sorry,
serial
name,
number.
rank, and serial number. You don't want my age, though, right? I don't have to.
21. just-
Yeah, that's it. My name's Joanne Hunter. I'm a resident of Summerhill Condominiums Association. And the last time that we were here, when this was on the agenda, I think there were new plans that were being put together, right, Gary? Correct. So I think it would be appropriate, wouldn't to have an understanding of what the new revisions were to the plan first? Does that make sense?
We can do that and then we'll follow up with questions later.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay? Anyone else want to speak right now? No? Ma'am? Yes, give us your name, address, social security number, and
I'm Kathy Adesi, and I live at 48.
Speak to the microphone, please.
use the microphone.
Kathy Adesi,
Pull it out.
4802 Carrie Ann Lane, Murraysville, obviously. I would really like to have the opportunity to have public input after we hear the plans. We have absolutely no information except for what you posted on the agenda this week, and we do appreciate you doing that. There is one thing I could give you now, if you'd like.
Please use the microphone, ma'am.
Oh, there is one thing I could.
Pull it out.
Microphone out.
There you go.
It's like karaoke night.
Yeah.
American Idol. Okay, and I'll put my name here. I've lived in Summerhill since 2007, and actually, it's a wonderful place to be. But there's a lot we may want to talk about any future development there, basically because it's a private road. It's very difficult to maintain, and when we first moved there, I didn't really realize it was going to be private and we would have to spend so much on maintenance every year. It has really cost us in our ability to hire counsel for certain things that were done. And in 2013, there was a comment made in the September meeting of the Planning Commission about the Summerhill development that was coming with all these units, and that there was nothing that the people in Summerhill could do about it because we gave an easement. But I just wanted to put on record that nobody that lives in our community gave an easement. It was basically taken before we became an HOA. Okay, we were an HOA, but the owner, the developer, and his wife, who has since passed, and of course Gary, were on the board, and they gave themselves an easement, and it's kind of questionable if they did it within a 7-year period or not. And actually, Ryan Lemke, who's not here tonight, was the person that prepared the easement. So hopefully, if he's on the board, he would not really, maybe he would recuse himself since he was representing the developer. But anyways, I'd like to just give you a copy of the easement that was never signed by anybody in our community, and the three names that, and it wasn't dated either, but at least my copy. But the two members of the board at the time had dissented giving the easement. And what that easement is there's only one way in off of Logan's Ferry. You go in, and it splits, and then you go down this hill, and there's still some land left that hasn't been developed yet. And somehow or another, maybe Gary could address exactly how it was done, but they took back the rights to be able to develop whatever they wanted down there, and they took basically our opportunity to not agree with it at that time. So may I give this to you for your records?
Give it to
Is this
Mr. Morrison.
appropriate?
Give it to Mr. Moore.
Sorry, I've never done this before.
Okay.
And can we reserve the right to maybe come up and speak after the presentation?
Sure, we'll make that available to you. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Cindy Cicela. I live at 3812 Cindy Cicela, 3812 Goldie Lane in Summerhill. Bear with me while I sign my name to this. I just want to share an email with you from our property manager, Ryan Lynch, who is with Berkshire Homes. I understand, I'm not a lawyer, and I understand builders have rights. However, and he's the initial declarant, but after so many homes are built in a development, we become the declarant of that association. So I want to read you something from Ryan Lynch. Again, a property manager of us now. He was property manager then. He sent an email, and it said that the developer recorded an easement right before turnover, acting as the board, and both I and the board questioned the validity. Section 3303 of the Condo Act outlines the makeup of the board during the period of declarant control. So who's the declarant? Us, Summerhill, or Gary Hall? At that time, that's the question. In order to know whether the board was properly constituted on January 13th, 2013, and therefore had the authority to grant the easements, not considering whether the declaration and act permitted, which I will also have to confirm, will need to know the date on which the first unit was conveyed, when 25% and 75% of the units were conveyed to other than the declarant. Since I'm the second manager and there was a gap between management, I do not have the information for the first unit conveyed and when 25% was met. I can find this information, but it may take some time unless Mr. Ohms has it. The deed from the developer to condos was recorded January 11th, 2006, so that is the date they are using, I'm assuming. So the question is, when did we actually get the power to do this? And if they signed the easement over, the builder, the wife, those group of people, we weren't justly represented. January 5th.
Okay.
So now here we are. We want to add 61 or whatever the number is, additional homes, one road. So now we have some questions.
Okay, you're asking a legal question. We are not lawyers. Chris may pretend to be one from time to time, but so we're going to refer that to the municipal solicitor for him to delve into that. So I appreciate your comments. I gather that what you're doing is you're questioning whether or not the easement was granted in a timely manner.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
My name's Gary Hall. I'm with the developer. Those last two comments just weren't true, okay? There is a gentleman here, part of their association.
Excuse me. We're not going to debate this.
I understand that, but this was done illegally. It was done with.
Well,
people after
that's
the-
your contention. It's our contention that it wasn't. So we're not going to get into that, whether it was or not. We're not lawyers. We're not going to try to pretend we're lawyers. So it's going to be something that's going to be referred to the municipal solicitor and for them to work weed through go through the weeds to
Yes.
figure out what it is. I appreciate it though, sir. Anyone else? No? Okay. Do we have a set of plans or something to look at this evening?
Yes. Mike, you want to put those up on the screen? There you go.
Is someone, Mr. Hall, someone going to explain what this is all about? Who are you, sir?
Yes, my name is Jeff Parabeck with Ascent Consulting and Engineering. We're the engineers that are assisting Gary with the project.
Okay. Could you try to use the microphone so
Yes.
people at home can hear?
I'll try to project.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So the project is called Summerhill Phase 2. Summerhill Phase 1 was the existing condominiums. Excuse me. Summerhill Phase 2 was originally planned and had a couple of apartment buildings as well as some townhouses that are on the upper right-hand side that as shown on the drawing that's there. The apartment buildings decided not to do that and instead go with townhouse type for sale units into the second phase. Now the second phase even though it's called Summerhill Phase 2, it's not going to be aligned at all with the condominium association with Summerhill Phase 1. It'll be its own separate entity that will have a homeowners association that will control everything that goes, all the common grounds that goes on there. The streets for this will continue to be private, as well as all the utilities with the exception of the water and sewer lines. There's a stormwater management facility that's there now. The existing stormwater management facility is going to be upgraded and expanded a bit to account for current criteria for water quality and stormwater control. We have already submitted plans to the Westmoreland Conservation District for MPDES permitting, and we have gotten first round of comments and gone back and forth with them. We have received comments previously when we were here before and had gone through. There were some comments relative to geotechnical. We had our geotechnical engineer get together with KU Resources and basically develop some additional testing that KU Resources wanted to see. The field work has been done for that. The laboratory work is being completed, and there'll be an appended report issued for that. Previously, there was some question about whether or not there was a need for a traffic study. We retained Wooster Associates that went back through and looked at the original Trant traffic study that was prepared, I think, in 2005, somewhere thereabouts. They analyzed that study. And with the current ITE, essentially with the 61 units that we have, which is really only 21 greater than what the original Summerhill was proposing, there's actually no increase in traffic, anticipated traffic from this additional portion of the development from what was originally proposed in a 2005 traffic study. We had gotten comments from Jim's staff late last week. We went through those. And I have essentially given Jim a preliminary comment response letter to address each of those comments. And we'll continue to work with him as we move forward to try to address those as best we can.
So how many units are in this phase, what you call a phase?
Phase 2 will contain 61 units.
61 units. Is there I believe you mentioned that this is a separate homeowners association.
This will be a separate homeowners association, not associated with the condominium that's there now.
Okay. So is there a clubhouse or anything connected with this?
No.
No recreational facilities?
No recreational. We're proposing to do fee in lieu.
Okay. So these people would have no rights to use the clubhouse that's existing?
That's correct.
Is there a pool there?
I'm not sure what facilities are
There's
there.
a pool there. I thought I saw a pool there. Okay. So what is the breakdown of all these units? Are these townhouses or these?
These are all townhouses. Some are duplex, 3s, 4s, and there's a couple 5s.
Okay, so a townhouse being multi-level,
That's correct.
all of them are that way?
That's correct. And the submission that we made had elevation views that the builder was proposing to use for those to be able to show context to materials and the
You
general
have that,
layout.
Jim?
In the Dropbox.
It's in the Dropbox, okay. So You mentioned the road is private.
That's correct.
What about all the utilities?
The water will be Municipal Authority of Westmoreland County. All the storm drainage will be a part of the homeowners association. And the other utilities, electric, telephone, gas, will be their respective utility companies.
Okay, so are you providing easements for all
Yes.
of this?
We'll be providing, on the drawings, we depict stormwater easements and easements for the other utilities. And the electric, telephone, gas utility companies will prepare their own easement right-of-way agreements that will be used.
Okay, so have any, I'm just asking from a engineering perspective, is that a separate subdivision drawing or something that's been submitted?
No, we depict the utility easements on our drawing, but they'll have a separate agreement with those particular utility companies between, that'll take care of their facilities.
The water authority would have one and the sewage authority would have one?
Correct, for whatever is public.
Okay, so all the utilities are public?
Stormwater is going to be private. We're proposing portions of the sanitary would be private, using E1 grinder pump systems, E-type grinder pump systems. Until it gets to the gravity system, then that would be public.
How many units are on grinder pump?
Right off, I'd have to take a look at the drawings and count them up.
It's fair to say.
Something like that.
How much?
I
believe
believe
there's 27.
about 25, 27,
27.
correct.
Ones that aren't are there in the corner.
Have you,
Ones that are on the upper left-hand side,
Yeah, these are gravity.
yeah.
Everything else is force main.
so how many units are down there? 20? 5, 10, 15, 20.
17 are gravity fed, it looks like to me.
17 are gravity fed out of the 61, so there's 41, 40-some
Okay.
on grinder pumps.
And they all become part of the maintenance package for the homeowners
That's correct.
association? So the people that are on gravity are going to foot the bill for the people that have grinder pumps that go bad?
I can't speak to the agreements themselves, how that would work.
Have you submitted anything to the sewage authority yet?
We've started to coordinate with FDMSA.
Okay. So the gentleman to your left was alluding to there was an agreement for the use of the road to get to this phase.
That's correct.
Okay, and the people are obviously don't believe that to be true or factual or whatever. Are you aware of that?
As of this evening, yes.
Okay. All right. So is there a landscape plan connected with this?
We have a basic landscape plan that calls out for certain numbers of trees. What will wind up happening is that whenever the builder builds the homes, those allotment of trees will get planted at that time. If we try to build it now, then obviously it's going to get tore up whenever they come back to build the units themselves. So that will also give the homeowners the opportunity to sort of select some of their own materials that best fit what they would like to have versus, but we show numbers of
Is
plants.
there somewhere this is detailed?
It's on a drawing set.
Okay. And the Conservation District is reviewing the stormwater runoff in the pond and all that.
That's correct. We've received an initial round of comments from the Conservation District that we've essentially that we've responded to. They've reviewed those, and about the only thing that's outstanding is the infiltration testing to confirm our assumptions during design for the water quality aspects of the revised stormwater pond.
And that discharges to a stream or,
There's an existing swale down through there that discharges to now.
okay, and let me just, as I understand this, the ground all slopes.
Down.
Down toward
this
that.
way.
That's correct.
Why are these on a grinder pump system?
The existing sanitary outfall, gravity outfall, excuse me, is over toward the right where you have those two sets of orange units that was constructed for what was originally going to be an apartment building. As you go across past where the ponds are, there's a little bit of a dip there, and so that's why those other ones had to be onto a grinder.
Why couldn't they connect to the sewers that are down on North Duane?
Those are actually pressure mains down there as well. We checked into that with FDMSA, and those are force mains.
No, there's a gravity sewer over there.
On Dwayne,
It's either on North Duane or behind.
there's gravity sewer in the adjoining development within that street.
Well, I'm just curious as to why we're pumping when we can go with gravity.
We'd have to obtain off-site easements through those residential lots in order to be able to tie into that.
Have you tried, has you or your applicant tried to get easements from those?
I have not.
I've talked to a couple people.
Okay. I guess I'm done. Any member of the planning commission have any comments or questions?
I do. So I don't see Logan's Ferry Road on this plan, but I believe I know where it is up to the right. Is that correct?
It's up to the right, essentially parallel to the kind of the edge of the drawing.
And
that
how
we
much
have there.
further does whatever that main road, what's that, Shirley Lane?
I believe that's sure.
How much further is Logan's Ferry from where you're going to make a left to come into this new plan?
I don't know right off the top of my head.
Few hundred feet, anyway.
Few hundred feet.
Few hundred, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe 2.
And there are homes or condos that these people will have to drive by. I'm
That's
just
correct.
trying to get an idea
Yes,
how
no, that's
many
correct.
homes will be impacted by this additional traffic. And my other question is, if Shirley Lane is private and this new homeowners association is going to be using this private road, how will these homeowners be compensated for maintenance?
I don't know the details of the legal agreement that there is now with the easement or what that split would be. That's really illegal, what the legal agreement is.
You have a copy of the agreement.
Is this what I have right here?
Yeah, I read through this. This is,
It's hard to read.
well, it doesn't make any sense.
hard to
me, but
understand.
that's something we'll have to get into. Go ahead, Eddie.
No, I just, again, I'm not an attorney and I know how to read, but these are very difficult to understand unless you see it on a map, so.
Mr. Morrison, is there a fee and transportation fee connected with this plan?
There needs to be some additional research, because the lot adjoining, which I believe this lot is to be developed, was not in the traffic impact fee district, but the condominium association land was. So I have to take a look at that in a little more detail.
Okay. And there would be a gentleman indicated that there's a fee in lieu of for the recreational component, and how much is that these days
I think it's $12.50, I believe.
per unit?
They've agreed to that, but for these units, it's $600 per unit because they're.
Because they're townhouses.
Right.
I'm sorry. And Jane, anything else?
No, I would like to see the drawing that shows the connection to Logan's Ferry, just to satisfy for myself how many people are going to be impacted by this increase in traffic.
Sure.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Jim.
Yeah, a question here. The plans seem to be fairly well along.
That's correct.
And developed very well so far. What's the plan schedule here for start?
Would like to start as soon as possible. Once upon all the approvals, yeah.
Do you have any feel for how long it would take to sell these out? I realize it depends upon the market somewhat, but what do you got? How many, 60 units?
61,
How many?
I would have to-
61 residential.
I didn't hear the answer, sir.
2 years.
You're gonna build and sell 60 units in 2 years?
Ryan Holmes will be building it.
Ryan Holmes is going to build it.
Their marketing machine, they've done it in Blackthorn, They've done it in other areas within the immediate vicinity, and they're averaging 30 to 40 units per year in those developments.
Okay. I'm sorry, Jane?
No, I'm,
Jim, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all I had. Thank you.
What were the comments that you got back from the Conservation District as it relates to the discharge? I understand there's an existing basin here, right?
That's
and
correct.
so it's already an established discharge path.
It's already discharging.
And is there's a sediment trap going in this corner? Is that, and it's not shown on this drawing, because I'm assuming it's temporary,
That's correct.
a sediment trap? What were their thoughts on that? Discharging,
That's temporary, just to basically control the runoff while that grading is going on, then that gets removed.
no, I understand. I'm just saying, there's no established you're going to be concentrating flow there. I'm just kind of concerned of those houses that are right there.
Yeah, there is an existing roadside ditch down along there, albeit a little bit small, but there is down there. And the sediment trap releases the flow fairly slowly, and as I said, that is just temporary.
You're saying it flows down to North Duane?
That's correct.
Okay. Go ahead, Chris, anything else?
I mean, I think we've covered most of the things.
Amy, do you have anything at this? No, you asked the question. Okay. Hold on a minute, sir.
Yes, sir.
No, the guy behind you.
Sorry.
So, do you have anything else to provide us with this evening, sir?
No, as I said, I've provided a comment response letter to what we received last week to Jim. He and I discussed, we'll go over and review and make corrections as needed.
Mr. Morrison, do you have anything to add to this discussion so far?
One is that the applicant did not submit a conditional use application for a major excavation in poor soils, so that would have to be completed and submitted, and then we'd have to set up a public hearing for that process. I do not believe that the application is ready to be accepted yet because of the legal questions involved and some of the comments that were in the briefing that I have not had an opportunity to review yet, their response. So I would suggest that we hold off accepting the application at this time.
When is our next meeting, sir?
Would be May.
This is May.
11th.
June 11th. If you can supply the additional information so we have a complete application by a week or so before that.
Yes, sir, we can do that.
We would need it by the 24th.
24th of May.
That's correct.
Okay.
I would suggest that they be far along with FTMSA as to their opinion on the grinder pumps and the alternate.
Yes.
The other thing that I would suggest strongly is that you rename this thing from Summer Hill Phase 2 to something else, because it's causing quite a lot of confusion.
Okay.
Okay. So your recommendation is that we table this until it's done. Okay. Plan Commission. Do we still want to hear from members of the audience?
definitely.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, so motion made and seconded to table
Right.
this until the application is complete. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Okay.
Frank, serial number.
Dennis Pavlik, 229 North Duane Drive. I did want to bring up a couple issues. There is a grinder pump system on North Duane Drive that serves about 5 of the houses on the upper houses. There's also a store line that goes from 286 on the low side lots of Duane Drive, and it goes up to about 100 feet past where Ryan Drive intersects North Duane Drive. There is an easement, a storm sewer easement from Duane Drive down to that line. The other one, they would have to get some kind of a private easement. I think the people on Duane would be amenable to granting such an easement, if that would be the case. At least I talked to my neighbors, so that they might be able to do that.
You said storm, but did you mean sanitary?
No, where that line is, okay? So I don't know how Plum Borough, it's in Plum Borough, so I don't know whether it was a general utility easement or just a storm sewer easement.
Is it a pipe?
Yeah, it's a big pipe, probably, I think about a 12-inch pipe that goes down from Dwayne.
Are you aware of that, Mr. Engineer?
Wasn't aware that gravity sewer, wasn't aware of the easement there. When we talked about TMSA, we understood that all that was up there for sanitary,
Well, I think he's referring to storm.
Yeah, for FTMSA, they have the grinder pumps, and there is an easement over to Summer Vale.
Excuse me, Dennis.
Yes, sir.
What are you referring to?
He can't hear anybody. Got to speak into the microphone.
Okay.
Oh,
So when we talked to FTMSA, we were aware that there was a grinder pump pressure force main along Dwayne Drive down in that area, that there was not a gravity right there along Dwayne Drive. If, I'm unaware of a storm drain easement or something else that might be.
Well, I think the people from Plum might be interested in whether or not what you're discharging from the detention pond is
Something they want.
is gonna fit in that 12-inch pipe.
well, actually, that's the second thing that I wanted to bring up. That detention, there is a culvert along Dwayne Drive on the northerly side that is a 4-inch little pipe, 10 inches below the level, that drains into my neighbor's yard from this property, which on the previous drawings where they were going to discharge that. That is totally inadequate. Dwayne Drive is a river, and it floods people's yards right now whenever it goes down. So that culvert would need to be put in and expanded if it's ever going to handle any kind of flow. Because, again, I think I brought that up on December 7th. I sent you guys a letter talking about the drainage issue along Dwayne Drive. Yeah, the sewer line is, FTMSA has the grinder pump sewer line that goes over into Somerville. There's a utility, there's an easement at the upper end of North Dwayne Drive that goes across North Dwayne Drive. But there is, along the back of them, Plum Borough sewer line, sanitary sewer line comes from 286 up, and it stops maybe 400 feet shy, on the low side lot.
Of their property.
Oh, yes. So, to get to it would require some private negotiation. Also, being former member of the FTMSA, when that grinder pump line was put in, okay, I was instrumental in it, but FTMSA does not permit multiple units to go into a private line. So in general, each house and grinder pump is the resident's own problem, but the main line that those tie into then went to FTMSA. So I don't know.
You say that there's a gravity line behind the houses on the whatever side that is.
On the southerly side of North Dwayne Drive, and it stops, pretty much shy of, but it comes up to essentially Ryan Drive. If you look where Ryan Drive, which is a private paper road.
Okay, so I believe you said, correct me if I'm wrong, that the residents would be willing to grant a sewer easement?
If they were to be able to like tie in, says, okay, you tie us in, I'm sure that they could be negotiated. No, I don't think there's been any strong objection, but that might be.
Mr. Hall, you aware?
Right.
Good.
I can give you
start with this gentleman.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Anything else, Dennis?
Well, I just want to know if the others had been addressed. That retention trap was always a big concern for my December 7th letter, and I haven't gotten to see the new drawings that have been submitted to see if those questions were addressed. And I submitted them to Planning Commission back at that December 7th.
Why don't you, I believe you emailed that to us.
Right, yes.
Did you email us all again once?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Anything else, Dennis?
Oh, that was it. That drainage, though, is a big concern because it will just flood out the road and those houses. And I think there was a culvert, and like I say, it's just a 4-inch little
A
pipe.
question for you, sir. I was just looking at my colleague's Google Earth, I assume that is. Anyway, North Duane seems to be paved up to a point and then becomes sort of a gravel road.
Right, it was paved up to actually where my driveway exits. It's a public Plumboro Road from 286 up to that point. Then it is a private road from that point up to where their that big retention pond is, by those, they're drawing as pond.
So what, the portion in Plum is public?
Public, yes,
And the portion that's in Murraysville is private?
yes. That's where the pavement stops right at the bottom of my driveway.
Okay. Got it.
And,
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
No further comment? I wrote my name down here for you.
good. All right, well, this lady over here looks eager. Does anybody on this side want to speak?
Mike, could you put the plan back up on the screen, please?
You want us to start over here? Okay. Ma'am, do you have any further questions? Yes. Well, you're holding
Hi, thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to see what's being proposed, since we had no information. Summerhill is built on the side of a mountain, so I really hope that before any final decision's made, that you'll come and visit us and take a look. We have a little level part, and then this whole area where they're proposing to build, it goes down a pretty good mountain. I walk it, so keeps me aerobically happy. And then at the bottom, it's like the retention pond. There's a spring there. Apparently, there's two gas wells that aren't sealed down in there in this vacant land. And then it's a hill going up, which is part of the proposal. So I really hope somebody will come actually take a look at this. And because it's one entrance going in, and it's a private road, I'm just not understanding how safe it would be for 111 houses to be basically all on one private road. Fire engines, police, whatever. And then the other question I have is if this traffic study was done in 2005, oh my goodness, you should see what's going on now. We have, we have 50 units that are built. 46 are in our plan. There were 4 more built. They are townhouses. I just wanted to mention that they're 3-story townhouses. They've taken a long time to sell. I mean, I'm sure they're lovely, but there's one more left. It's been for sale for over 250 days. And when people in our community desperately are looking for patio homes and first floor master bedrooms as we start getting older and want to stay in our community, the idea of 3-story townhomes being built, 61 additional ones, all down this hill on one private road, it just doesn't seem like the highest and best use of this land. And I really am hopeful that there could be some ideas. I mean, we can't tell the developer what to build, and, I'm really happy they built my house because I love my house. But I just cannot imagine having 61 units piled together in 4 or 5 units each, all 3 stories, and there's no way a school bus can go down there. So and then you have to walk up a mountain to get to the school bus. These are just some of the ideas, but I'm just wondering if there could be a traffic study requested, because, oh my goodness, it's so fast. Those cars go by so fast, and we're pulling out.
There is a traffic study that's requested.
Current.
Current traffic study?
They've requested one.
We did? You did? Thank you.
No, we didn't do it.
No.
Okay.
Yes,
Well, anyways, I don't want to take up any more time. I think there's other people. Oh, and the other thing is, I am like a little bit upset that the sewage is not going to be put into a sewage line, and you're talking about grinder pumps and how many for a housing community in a highly populated area. I don't really understand that, but that was
Okay.
my other thought. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. I appreciate your time.
Anyone else on this side over here? No?
I'm Denise Gibson. I also live in Summerhill. I just want to reiterate that I understand someone did submit the request for a traffic study. My main concern is the safety, especially those coming in and out of our plan and onto Logan's Ferry Road. Right now, even with 50 homes, it is extremely dangerous there. I know it takes an awful lot to get stop signs. I would certainly love to see a 4-way stop sign at that intersection of our plan. I don't know what it takes, but
Are you referring to the intersection with Logan's Ferry Road?
Yes, and Ramaley. Ramaley's directly across from, that is a dangerous area pulling in and out right now, and that's only with 50 units. So I would hope with 61 additional cars coming and going at the very least, something could be done to at least have a 4-way stop sign there so that there aren't accidents.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm David Chaddock. I live at 3835 Goldie. I noticed one of you has a pointer, a laser pointer. Could we use that? I just wanted to clarify for Jane. She wasn't clear on where Logan Ferry Road is. So is everyone else aware? Can I use the pointer and point it out?
There, yeah.
Right here. Do you understand now, Jane, where it is?
I understand that. I wanted to know, because it's not on the drawing, and the drawing is scaled, how much of this private road the new condominium owners are going to be using that is yours.
Can I point it out?
It's literally
Can I
right
use the
off.
pointer and point it out?
Right off of where it's cut off.
Oh, so it's not too far? Okay. I drive by there all the time. So.
Right, so you turn in on Shirley, and the clubhouse is right there, and then you make the first right, or the left rather, and then you come all the way down the hill.
Right.
Okay, and then that's where the bottom row is in the black and white, and then the new development's going to continue past that.
So my point is that, yes, there's going to be 61 times 2 cars coming across Logan's Ferry, and to your point, I couldn't agree with you more, but it looks like there's only one house that all these cars are going to go by.
Oh, no. Could I please use the pointer? Someone has a pointer. Thank you. You turn it on for me?
Just hit the button.
Thanks. Okay, I'm going to make this clear now to you. This is where you turn in off of Logan Ferry runs like this.
Right.
Okay, so here, let me switch hands for you.
Okay.
So you turn in off of Logan Ferry right here.
Yep.
Then you make this left and you come down this hill.
Right.
Okay, I live right here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, so first of all, you're going past the clubhouse,
Okay.
which there's people coming in and out of the clubhouse constantly, walking across this road, walking over to these units here.
And how many more
okay?
houses are down there?
Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then there's 10 here. There's 18 units right there, plus R2, that's 20, plus 2, 22, and then all the activity here that carries on at the clubhouse with the pool and everything else.
Definitely clears it
So
up for me.
all this is going to come, everyone in the 61 units will drive by all of this right here, this bend.
Okay.
All right?
Yep,
Just wanted to
thank you.
clarify that. Yep.
Thank you for
Thank
the
you very much for the opportunity to clarify that to everyone. Can I just set this here? Or?
See if somebody else wants to talk back there.
You want to go ahead?
Hi, my name's Debbie Lusoy, and I also live in Summerhill. And this might be a very naive question, and please tell me if you just don't think it's important, but I'd like to know why we can't continue and have this road go back out onto Logan Ferry or something like that.
I don't see how that could be done. There's,
I'm not sure. I don't understand how the plan is set up.
you're questioning whether or not a second road could come out back up to Logan's Ferry Road.
No, I'm questioning the the road. What is it? Which road are we? Goldie is down through the new section. Yes. Somewhere, somehow.
Okay, we haven't gotten into that, and the developer has not submitted that, but that's a fair question.
Right.
Anyone else over there?
Of course.
Anyone else over on that side? Okay. All right, let me explain to you, to the audience. Mr. Morrison indicated, we are not accepting this application tonight. We're tabling that to give the applicant an opportunity to provide additional information for questions that have been asked. And as we go through the process, there'll be more questions that will be generated, I'm sure. But one of the things that will happen here is once they submit the application for their conditional use, which is about the major excavation. In other words, Murraysville has an ordinance that if it's so much dirt being moved, you have to have a public hearing. So there will be a public hearing scheduled for this. You can follow it along in the newspaper. I think they still print our agenda, do they not, Jim?
Yes.
Yes.
And you can certainly call here anytime to find out when that public hearing is going to be held. That's not the end of it, just that public hearing will be one night. I'm sure will be probably at least one other meeting on this. You can check the schedule. Copies of the plans are available at the municipality at any time. They can come. You can come in. I would just
Request.
really. Well, it's just a form, right? And do we
You have the right to know.
do we grant those immediately, or do they have to go through? Okay, so just a matter of filling out a form. It's called a right to know request, so you can do that. Now, Planning Commission is just an advisory body. We will make a recommendation to council as to whether or not to approve this. Council will then have their own set of public hearings and discussions regarding this proposal. So I don't want to put this crudely, but you have several opportunities or shots
To be heard.
to take a look at this. So and the questions that you all have raised this evening, we're going to refer those to the solicitor, and hopefully he can ferret this out in a manner that makes sense to all of us. So that does not mean that you can pursue whatever private means that you want to, as far as the legalities go. So, Mr. Morrison, did you have something else? Question.
I just have a question. How many units are allowed to be built on one private road, one way in?
Well, there's never been in my experience, there's never been a good answer to that. I have heard traffic engineers pontificate on this forever, and the closest number I ever heard was 200. And of course, that's just one traffic engineer's opinion. And I don't know, we have other plans in Murraysville that have.
Georgetown Commons.
What?
Georgetown?
Georgetown, Franklin.
Franklintown.
Franklintown.
Are they level? They're
Oh,
not.
no.
They're not mountainous.
Oh, no. Franklintown is
Yeah,
straight up.
Oh, okay.
It is on the side of a mountain.
Yeah, it's all of
one way.
Murraysville's
like
on the
us.
side of a mountain.
There you go.
Gary, do you have anything?
One last comment. Everybody's been talking about 61 additional units. Summerhill was approved originally for 94 units. There are 50 built. Okay? We are only talking the difference between the additional 44 and the 61. This is 17 additional units than what was approved in 2005. It's not an additional 61.
Okay.
And there's still an approved plan for 30 to be built in that lower flat section where the two 10-unit apartments were and another 10 10-unit townhouse. There's still an approved plan for that.
Well,
That's another debate. I understand that.
all right. Thank you. All right. No further comments. Jim, you have anything else?
Quick, Gary. So before a meeting ends, I always like to have an understanding of, like, what are the main things that we should expect to get feedback on then? We were talking about the sewage, the drainage, the, the transportation, the easement. I just kind of want to summarize that so that we can go back to our constituents and friends, just to let them know what is going to, specific points were brought up and what we should expect to have answers to at the next
Well,
meeting.
there's a whole bunch of questions that have been raised here this evening. I don't know that, obviously for you people, I would say it's the most important one is this access issue, but there's also issues of drainage and sewage and whatnot. I don't know about how the rest of them feel. I kind of think that those are all important issues. So take it from there.
Okay.
Ma'am?
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, yeah, that plan was approved for that set number of units, but also with those units was supposed to be tennis courts, a walking trail, and those things, we don't have those things, and a gazebo. So here we are, you have to understand, we don't have a whole lot of trust. This has just been kind of thrown at us, and yeah, we have concerns, and that's all we're trying to express here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, does anyone else have anything else this evening? Have a motion to adjourn then?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all for your attendance this evening.